Hello again, I'm Kwanzi, and we finally managed to do the interview segment where we talk about what it's like to be a manager in FID. And now, until now, I tried to avoid getting the same guests more than once in the show to help us get to know as many people as possible, but I heard the FID world can never get too much of Pesh, so here he is again. Hello, Pesh.
Hi.
Hi.
Clap, 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 clap.
Also, here with us, we have one of the first members in our fun game. He used to manage Real Money, but now he has a player character there, so he stepped down to the assistant manager job. Hey, Gus.
Hi.
And finally, the one-woman, one-team guy. After trying to get him on the show for weeks, he's here now. Sorry, Pesh, for the surprise. You knew it was coming. So let's all welcome, drum roll please, Lefa. Hello.
Hi there.
No!
Yeah, it's me. Of course it's me.
Sorry, Pesh. Sorry, you know I was going to do that. I mean, come on. You don't trust me that much.
It's all good, Pesh. Come on.
I have a feeling you guys are going to understand. You'll be friends tonight more than on the forums.
Okay, tonight I'm friendly.
Yeah, you have to be.
Yeah, I'm in a peace mood now.
Okay, guys, so let's go on to the manager team we have tonight. So, before we get on the harder part of the managing job, maybe I can ask you some fun stuff to get us started. Let's just say Pesh and Lefa. People say you are the real managers in Stockholm and Fortuna, and not the guys managing officially. What's your comment on that one? Pesh, are you the real manager of Stockholm?
Not really, but I mean, I am aware of everything that happens in FC Stockholm. I mean, I'm almost like that the manager has to ask me before he does something.
So you're the manager?
Not really. I mean he does do the tactics and stuff like that. I mean I am a player, of course, but when we make a big decision, me and the assistant manager and the real manager, we discuss before we do something.
Lefa, is it true that Tricky is just a puppet there in Fortuna? Because everyone says that. Are you the real manager?
No, I'm not. I actually really was the manager for some time after we had some manager problems, after Sheshun kind of like dropped from the game and wasn't active. So I used to be the manager, but after we got rid of Levski, thank God for that. And we got Tricky here as our manager, so it's been all good. So I don't have to be the manager anymore.
So what's your role now in Fortuna?
I'm just an egoistic keeper and assistant manager, so if something needs to be done, I'll be there, but it's Tricky's job to be the manager.
Well, guys, some people say, or maybe that's just me, that managing is not worth the trouble. How much time do you spend on managing? Could you start this one, Gus?
Yeah, I didn't spend that much time managing, and that was the main reason why I stepped down as assistant, because I didn't have the time to do the scout reports and stuff like that.
Are you sure it's not the fact that you brought a player in that team?
No, of course that was a fact too. When Gamle Glenn left us for Svarta Stjärnan, we took the opportunity to buy my SD as a backup, since I don't need such a high salary as most of the other players need.
Mm-hmm. So how much time do you spend managing right now?
Right now I'm most managing during the matches and tell them how to play and such stuff. But our head coach, Barney, is the one that does the major managing job.
When you were manager of Real Money, how much time did you spend managing?
I did a little bit of work every day, probably, looking up coming opponents and their best players and way to break down their defense.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a pretty tough job, and looking for players, finding good players ain't easy either.
I understand.
We looked for SD. I think we wrote messages to over 100 of them, and we got the no from everyone.
Yeah, it's really hard to find the good side defender.
Well, Stockholm might be the best example there now. Did you get a side defender in Stockholm?
Yeah, we get back our old side defender, and we had 3, and we only had 2 now. When our second left, we got back the other one. Was rotating.
How did you convince him to get back?
I mean, no, he's a friend, and I know. I mean, I talked to him outside of FID, and he just got back on the FID. He was a bit inactive. He was on training. He didn't play. So when he got back,
so you did the manager's job there.
Yeah, but in the first place, we will never have him without Sir Alex Ferguson. The thing with Sir Alex Ferguson is, he has good contacts and stuff. He brought in, when he came as manager, he brought in 2 great players that has very important roles in our team now. Our defensive midfielder, that is probably one of the best defensive midfielder it is, and the side defender Kavakaya. So he made 2 great signings just when he became the FC Stockholm manager.
Okay then, so before we ask you about your manager job, I want to ask the other assistant manager, how much time does he spend managing? Lefa?
It depends. I think it's all about the team, what kind of team and how it works. So if there are not many active players and looking and helping with things, it takes a lot of work. But if you have a good team full of active players, there's not too many things you have to do all by yourself. So I think at times it takes hours and hours, and at times you don't really have to do anything as scouting and all the other things. Like here in Fortuna, we have so active field of players, so everybody contributes. So it helps a lot.
Well, that might not be the case for Pesh's team, the one he manages. So which one is that, Pesh, and how much time do you spend helping them, managing them?
Trophy manager All Boys it is right now. And I really do use a lot of time for being manager. I always done. I mean, when I was in FC Stockholm, we're using a lot of time on FID as manager. And then when it became active, I stepped down to play there. And then I got to Red Army. I still, wasted a lot of time on FID. And now I'm back on the same track. I'm trying to find a good squad, find a good gameplay. So I do really waste a lot of time being manager. I mean, it takes a lot of time too. And it's not many that can be a good manager. And a good manager, you have to be active.
Exactly, that's where I was going for, where I wanted to bring you guys. To ask you, what makes a good manager and why is it worth all that trouble? Because all of you mentioned hours and hours and to be a good manager. And what's the reward and what makes a good manager? Maybe, Guus, can you start on that one? What makes a good manager and is it worth it?
Well, probably the good manager is one that's active during the games and pre-games, writing good scout reports and can tell the team what kind of opponents we are facing. So the main skill that a manager needs is probably being active. I've had several managers that have been active for like a week and then quit the game without said anything.
Yeah, now I'm managing him.
Yeah, now Pesh is my new manager in Trophy Manager Old Boys.
I didn't know that. Good to know. Is he a good manager?
Yeah, he signed me yesterday, right before the game between Real Madrid and FC Stockholm.
Okay. So,
Many
Pesh,
big moves going on.
yeah,
Many
what
big
of more?
moves going on.
Usually the
I
big
heard a
moves
rumor
are...
that Pesh is joining us.
That's probably good to have been speaking. I only will join Fortuna if you will do.
Yeah,
Is
I
the
know.
rivalry so awesome there? I mean, do you hate each other so much?
No, I mean,
I don't hate Pesh.
Then why wouldn't you? Don't you want to play with Lefa, Pesh?
it's just some rivalry things, in the Swedish league. And maybe I don't know. Maybe I will play with him someday, but I don't know if it will be Fortuna. Maybe another team or
Fortuna
something.
won't be FC Pesh. That's the problem.
Okay. So let's get back to our topic. Lefa, what makes a good manager?
I think a good manager really knows how to motivate people and players. Tricky is great in giving roles, and we are all contributing, so it doesn't have to be all by himself, by manager, scouting, and so on. If team is full of active guys and they all do their part, it's really it's so easy for everyone, and that's the big point, I think. And also how to combine a group of players who have fun together. So it's all about fun and that kind of thing. That really keeps the group together, and it's all about the fun. Life is all about fun.
Exactly.
And a good manager knows how to create such an atmosphere in a team.
Well,
And that's a big thing.
Pesh, you're not really famous for creating an awesome atmosphere in the teams you play in. So maybe
are you sure of that?
You can tell us.
You haven't
and
been
just saying what other people say, so you can disclaim it. So what makes you a good manager then?
I can't say I have that everything, but to be a good manager, you need to have you have to earn the players' respect, and you need confidence in your work. You have to be patient. You need the motivation to be manager. There's a lot of stuff that you need to be a good manager, and some does have only the motivation, the respect, and the confidence and stuff, but they don't have the tactic things, and some does have the tactic knowledge and stuff, but they don't have the maybe patient motivation stuff. So that's it. I mean, you have to be patient like me. I mean, Red Army, they had Red Army was one of the teams I managed in English League, and that team actually had 5 players maybe, and when I was manager there, so I had to be patient. I mean, I had to sign players very slow and stuff and good, and also if I would lose, I mean, I will quit the employment and stuff like that. I will just move on and be patient. For example, now I'm being patient with Trophy Old Manager boys, and I think in the end it will be good. So that's it.
Okay, glad to know that.